Some performance cars are rare because nobody wanted them. Others are rare because manufacturers built only enough to satisfy racing rules. But a select few became legends the moment they left the factory. Some are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Others have sold for well over $1 million. And unless you're attending one of the world's biggest collector car auctions, chances are you'll never see one in person. Today, we're looking at 8 factory performance cars so rare that most enthusiasts will only ever see them in photographs. Number 8. 1970 Ford Torino King Cobra Prototype. Sometimes the rarest performance cars aren't limited production models. Sometimes they never reach production at all. That's exactly what happened with the Ford Torino King Cobra. By 1970, NASCAR had become an aerodynamic arms race. Dodge introduced the Charger Daytona. Plymouth responded with the Superbird. Their long, pointed noses and towering rear wings gave them a significant advantage on high-speed superspeedways. Ford needed an answer. The result was the King Cobra. Instead of adding a massive rear wing, Ford engineers focused primarily on the front of the car. They developed an extended aerodynamic nose that blended smoothly into the Torino's body, reducing drag while giving the car a much more streamlined appearance than the standard Torino Cobra. Under the hood sat Ford's legendary 429 Cobra Jet V8, with some prototypes reportedly equipped with the even more powerful 429 Super Cobra Jet. The goal wasn't simply to build another muscle car. It was to build a car capable of beating Chrysler's Winged Warriors on NASCAR's fastest tracks. Unfortunately, the project never reached its full potential. Before the King Cobra could compete, NASCAR changed its homologation rules, requiring manufacturers to build far more production cars before they could race. The new requirement made the project financially unrealistic, and Ford canceled the program before full production ever began. Only 3 prototypes are widely believed to have been completed. That instantly makes the King Cobra one of the rarest factory performance Fords ever created. Today, surviving examples rarely appear in public. Not because enthusiasts forgot them, but because there are almost none left to see. Number 7. 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88. Most Corvettes were designed to be driven on the street. The L88 was different. Chevrolet developed it for buyers who wanted a Corvette that could spend weekends at the racetrack rather than cruising downtown. In fact, the company almost tried to discourage people from buying one. Officially, the massive 427 cubic inch L88 V8 was rated at 430 horsepower. Looking back, almost nobody believed that number. The engine featured aluminum cylinder heads, a high-lift solid-lifter camshaft, an aggressive ignition system, and an incredibly high 12.5:1 compression ratio. It also required 103-octane fuel, making it impractical for everyday driving. Many enthusiasts and racing historians believe the engine actually produced well over 500 horsepower in factory trim. The L88 wasn't loaded with luxury equipment, either. Chevrolet intentionally deleted features like air conditioning because this Corvette was built with performance as the priority. Private racing teams quickly realized just how special it was. L88-powered Corvettes found success in endurance racing, helping establish the Corvette as a legitimate international sports car rather than simply an American V8 coupe. Production remained incredibly small. Only 20 L88 Corvettes were built for 1967, making it one of the rarest and most desirable Corvettes ever produced. Today, finding one is almost impossible. Number 6. 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda Convertible. Some rare muscle cars were limited because of racing rules. The HEMI Cuda Convertible became rare for a completely different reason. Timing. By 1970, the golden age of muscle cars was beginning to slow down. Insurance premiums were climbing, emissions regulations were becoming stricter, and buyers were starting to move away from high-performance V8s. That made expensive muscle cars a difficult sell, especially convertibles. For buyers who still wanted the ultimate Plymouth, nothing came close to the 426 Street HEMI. Officially rated at 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, the legendary HEMI transformed the already aggressive Cuda into one of the quickest American performance cars of its era. Buyers could pair the engine with either a 4-speed manual or Chrysler's heavy-duty TorqueFlite automatic transmission, creating a car equally capable of dominating the street or the drag strip. Unfortunately, Very few people ordered one. The combination of the costly HEMI engine and the convertible body pushed the price well beyond what most buyers were willing to spend. As a result, Plymouth built only 14 HEMI Cuda convertibles for the 1970 model year. That production number alone makes it one of the rarest factory muscle cars ever offered to the public. Today, surviving examples regularly sell for millions of dollars, placing them among the most valuable American production cars ever built. But incredibly, Plymouth wasn't the only company building ultra-rare HEMI-powered machines. Because Chrysler had another factory drag racer that was even harder to find. Number 5. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. Most high-performance Mustangs were built to dominate the street. The Boss 429 had a different purpose. Ford created it to qualify a brand-new engine for NASCAR competition. At the center of the project was the massive 429 cubic-inch semi-hemispherical V8, an engine developed specifically to challenge Chrysler's legendary HEMI on the racetrack. NASCAR rules required the engine to be installed in a production car before it could compete. There was just one problem. The engine was so large it barely fit inside a Mustang. Ford sent the cars to Car Craft in Michigan, where each Mustang underwent extensive modifications. The shock towers were relocated, the suspension was revised, and the engine bay was reworked just to make room for the enormous V8. Officially, the Boss 429 produced 375 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. Looking back, most enthusiasts believe those numbers were intentionally conservative. The engine was capable of much more. Unlike many big-block muscle cars, the Boss 429 wasn't designed primarily for drag racing. Its engineering focused on high-speed durability and sustained performance, exactly what Ford needed for NASCAR. Production remained extremely limited. Ford built 859 examples for 1969, followed by 499 more for 1970. That makes the Boss 429 one of the rarest production Mustangs ever offered. Today, it's considered one of Ford's greatest homologation specials. And somehow, it still wasn't the rarest factory drag car Chrysler produced. Number 4. 1968 Plymouth HEMI Barracuda BO29. By 1968, the factory drag racing battle between Ford and Chrysler had reached another level. Winning on Sunday wasn't enough anymore. Manufacturers wanted cars that could dominate NHRA Superstock competition straight from the dealership. Chrysler's answer was the HEMI Barracuda BO29. Unlike an ordinary Barracuda, the BO29 was engineered specifically for one thing: launching as quickly as possible. To reduce weight, Chrysler equipped the car with lightweight fiberglass front fenders and a fiberglass hood. Thin side glass replaced heavier standard windows, unnecessary insulation was removed, and buyers could even order the car without a heater or radio. Every unnecessary pound mattered. Power came from Chrysler's legendary 426 race HEMI V8, officially rated at 425 horsepower. Like many factory race cars of the era, the real output was widely believed to be much higher. Buyers could choose either a heavy-duty TorqueFlite automatic or a 4-speed manual transmission, depending on how they planned to race. Only 70 BO29 Barracudas were produced, making them among the rarest factory-built Mopar muscle cars ever offered. Many went directly from dealerships to drag strips across America, where they quickly earned a reputation as serious superstock competitors. Today, finding one is extraordinarily difficult. But Chrysler had one more surprise: a Dodge sibling that was even more famous among drag racers. And incredibly, it was built for exactly the same purpose. Number 3. 1968 Dodge HEMI Dart LO23. If the BO29 was Plymouth's ultimate factory drag racer, the LO23 HEMI Dart was Dodge's answer. Like its Plymouth counterpart, the LO23 received extensive weight-saving modifications, including fiberglass body panels, lightweight interior components, and Chrysler's fearsome 426 race HEMI under the hood. Only 80 LO23 Darts were produced, making them nearly as rare as the Barracuda. Straight from the factory, they were among the quickest American cars money could buy and became legends on drag strips across the country. Today, they're regarded as some of the greatest factory-built drag cars ever created. But two cars still remain, and one of them changed Camaro history forever. 8 factory performance cars so rare you'll never see one in person. Number 2. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Most muscle cars became legends because of clever marketing. The Camaro ZL1 became a legend because almost nobody could afford one. By 1969, Chevrolet already offered several high-performance versions of the Camaro, but an Illinois Chevrolet dealer named Fred Gibb had something much bigger in mind. He wanted a Camaro capable of dominating NHRA super stock racing, and to make that happen, Chevrolet agreed to install one of its most exotic engines into the first-generation Camaro. The result was the ZL1. At the heart of the car sat an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8, an engine originally developed for the brutal Can-Am racing series. Compared to the cast-iron 427 found in other Chevrolets, the aluminum ZL1 engine was significantly lighter while delivering extraordinary performance. Officially, Chevrolet rated the engine at 430 horsepower. Looking back, that figure was almost certainly understated. Most experts agree the engine actually produced well over 500 horsepower in factory trim, making the ZL1 one of the most powerful American production cars of its era. Performance was astonishing. Contemporary road tests and later independent testing showed the ZL1 was capable of quarter-mile times deep into the 11-second range with proper preparation, performance that few street-legal cars could match in 1969. There was only one problem: the price. The ZL1 engine alone added more than $4,000 to the cost of a new Camaro. By the time buyers finished checking the option boxes, the total price could exceed $7,000, an astonishing amount when a new Camaro SS cost only a fraction of that. Not surprisingly, very few customers placed an order. Chevrolet built only 69 Camaro ZL1s, instantly making it one of the rarest production Camaros in history. Today, surviving examples regularly command seven-figure prices, and many collectors consider the ZL1 the ultimate first-generation Camaro. Number 1. 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. Sometimes manufacturers build a performance car to improve their image. Ford built the Thunderbolt for one reason: to win drag races. By the early 1960s, Ford was locked in an intense horsepower battle with Chrysler on NHRA drag strips. To stay competitive, the company needed something lighter, faster, and purpose-built for superstock competition. The answer was the Fairlane Thunderbolt. Although it started life as a Fairlane two-door sedan, almost everything about the Thunderbolt was optimized for acceleration. Lightweight fiberglass replaced the hood, front fenders, front bumper, and other body components. Sound-deadening material was removed, the battery was relocated to the trunk for better weight distribution, and the enormous 427 cubic inch high-riser V8 was squeezed into the compact engine bay. Officially rated at 425 horsepower, the high-riser was one of the most formidable racing engines Ford had ever offered in a production vehicle. Buyers could choose either a 4-speed manual or a specially prepared heavy-duty automatic transmission, depending on which class they planned to race. The results spoke for themselves. Straight from the dealership, Thunderbolts immediately became dominant forces in NHRA superstock competition, earning victories across the country and cementing Ford's reputation as one of America's premier performance manufacturers. Only 100 Thunderbolts were produced to satisfy NHRA homologation requirements. That tiny production run makes them one of the rarest factory-built Fords ever sold to the public. Looking back at all 8 cars, one thing becomes clear: none of them were built for mass production. The King Cobra was created to challenge NASCAR's aerodynamic kings. The Corvette L88 brought race-ready engineering to Chevrolet showrooms. The HEMI Cuda Convertible became a million-dollar icon through sheer rarity. The Boss 429 existed to homologate one of Ford's greatest NASCAR engines. The BO29 Barracuda and LO23 Dart turned dealerships into drag racing launchpads. The Camaro ZL1 proved Chevrolet could build one of the fastest factory muscle cars of the 1960s. And the Fairlane Thunderbolt showed exactly what happened when Ford decided that winning races mattered more than building comfortable street cars. Today, these machines represent the absolute peak of factory performance during America's golden muscle car era. Most enthusiasts will spend a lifetime reading about them, without ever seeing one in person. Which of these ultra-rare performance cars would you add to your dream garage? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another forgotten chapter of automotive history. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.